Right, how are we getting on? Okay, so this week's tip is about weight transfer and the downswing through impact. So there's lots of different things out there on the internet. They're all correct. It really depends what you're doing wrong and what your habit is, and whether it will work for you is whether you know what you're doing wrong. And the only thing you can do for that is to look at your video. So start videoing your swing. You'll probably still not know what you're doing, and that's why you need to get help from a PJ golf coach like myself. As soon as you know what you're doing wrong, then you can have a look at YouTube and find out whether there's something that might help you. I'm pretty certain that if you've got advice, you would have, the coach you're with would have told you the best way of you going forward to fix whatever you're doing. One thing I always try and get across is feel and real. So what you feel you're doing doesn't mean you're actually doing, and that's why you see lots of different sort of drills to slow things down. And when you're practicing, you've really got to try and trace what you're trying to do, and then you try and hit a golf ball and it's nothing like what you've just practiced, and it's normally because your practice isn't exaggerated enough. So I'm going to talk to you about what I coach and I found that works for my clients. There are different ways of swinging the golf club, so you'll see different versions of this. But for me, for the average golfer who's trying to get to 18 handicap, I try and get people to swing in to out, because most people swing out to in. So in that process, when people swing out to in, i.e. over the top, they tend to get into a position where they finish on their back foot because they're using too many arms. So they sort of come through, and you'll see an impact position a little bit like this, and then they finish back there. Yeah. So obviously there's two things. You've got path and weight shift. Yeah. So let's talk about weight shift. So weight shift needs to be using your legs. Okay. So imagine you were really, really good at handstands and you could walk on your hands without falling over. How far do you think you'll get walking on your hands? I don't know, 10, maybe 20 yards, if that, because your arms aren't that strong. But you manage to walk around the golf course nicely, don't you? Because your legs are a lot stronger than your arms. So when we're talking about weight shift, it's about using your legs to shift the weight. If you were to kick a football, you move back and then you move your weight and you kick a ball. If you were to throw it, you move your weight back, you move your weight forward and you throw it. Tennis, you're behind, the weight's on the back, you step into it and you hit it. It's all about weight shift, and that's using the lower half. And in those sports, people don't really think about it because it's natural. Obviously, there's not a lot of naturalness about the golf swing with golf. So what I try and get people to feel like they're doing is making sure that this hip, imagine you're in a box, I try and get everyone to feel like that hip's hitting that side of the box as you hit the golf ball. I don't work a lot on rotation on the downswing. I find that most people do it. They just forget about the weight shift. Okay, like I said, there are a couple of different ways of swinging a golf club. This is, I would have said, for the majority of people who want to get the handicap down, this is a simpler way for me. So imagine you're in a box, you'll turn into the back of the box, you're trying to keep your head relatively still, but I have turned to the back of the box. I'm then going to lose my legs to try and hit the other side of the box as I hit the golf ball, and then I finish. Yeah, so you're going to rotate. I've not seen people not rotate doing this. I've not seen anyone I can't even do it. I've not seen anyone ever not rotate. So stop worrying about rotation. Just worry about moving your weight inside a box. Yeah, so you'll see I'll move back and I'll move forward and I'll finish on this side of the box. Okay, look, I'm on the other side of the box. Okay. So see if that helps you. Like I said, there are path issues sometimes, most of the time, but today's about thinking about weight shift, using your legs and not your arms. Okay, give it a go.